Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look at AVAX, see what's going on. This coin is actually performing very well, consolidating nicely into a bullish type of pattern here. This is generally the kind of pattern that breaks to the upside. So obviously it's subject to change if Bitcoin ends up pulling back, but if we can continue to maintain 93 to 94K, for Bitcoin, I think AVAX will take off. If not, we're going to look at some alternatives here too as to where you could dollar cost average if the price does pull back. So thanks again so much for being an awesome part of my life. I deeply appreciate you all watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment below. We get a ridiculously low amount of likes per video, but I get a lot of good compliments too. So I'm kind of surprised we see a disparity there. So please like the video every time you watch. Really appreciate that. And I want you to comment below if you liked the video. How about that? We can double down on all the good stuff. AVAX here, take a look here. We can see 22 upwards about 23, 25 is that upper range of liquidation, and obviously $21.50 to $21 just below. We're kind of in a range, okay? And that's normal. That's why when things compress like this, you see a breakout generally to the upside because selling pressure starts to diminish. However, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to break out. It just depends on how Bitcoin performs because AVAX is performing better than Bitcoin in general, but it's also performing with it too in a lot of ways, at least for the moment. And with liquidation delta being more bullish than bearish, I think the likelihood of further upside makes more sense. So we have more longs than shorts in the market, at least the AVAX market, generally speaking, the whole market as well. And at this point, we can see open interest, a lot of open interest below the price at about $21.50 to $22. As well as 21 and 2050. So a tremendous amount of support below. So best case scenario, the price comes down to like 21, and that would be a great consideration for a long. So that's kind of where we're at there from the overview. When it comes to the daily time frame, we're pretty well bullish here as well. We've been above both moving averages for some time. We broke through our local, liquidation range there, which is fantastic. And overall, we can kind of see here that minus the local high here of roughly 2360 or 2340, then there's a decent chance we see the price continue higher to the next potential area of consideration at about 25. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw some lines out on the chart here so you kind of get perspective here. I also post basically Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I post a lot of playout charts and things of that sort. It's all available there for you, so be sure to check that out too. I will have a playout chart for my AVAX coin here in just a moment. That'll be available if you're watching this video. Anyways, having said that, we got a fair value gap as low as about $21. That does incentivize the price to pull back to that area. So what I'm recommending right now to a lot of my community is just kind of waiting for some good longs to take a long on a lot of coins that are ready to break out, and just at least wait to see if Bitcoin pulls back a little bit further. There's a distinct probability we see 90 to 88,500 for Bitcoin soon, and if that happens, this fair value gap here will get filled. We'll bounce perfectly off this 0.65, 0.618 fib level between 20 and 21, and Bob's your uncle. We go back up from there. We got a lot of support and confluence in this range here too, so that does reinforce we come back down. Nice support in that range. So just something to be mindful of. Either way you look at it, there's nothing that's hidden bearish divergences here that you're probably going to hear from some other influencers. We're really in a good shape here on most all time frames. The hourly probably is going to reflect that we have somewhat of a not necessarily a selling signal, but more so just a signal letting you know that maybe taking a long right now at the potential top is not a great idea. Once more, I'm a conservative trader though, folks. I'm always going to recommend that you wait for the price to pull back before taking a long in a bullish market, and the inverse for a short as well. It doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense to take a long just yet until we know where Bitcoin's going to go, all right? Now, keep in mind, most altcoins are sustaining and doing very well for themselves, contrary to Bitcoin pulling back. It's a great sign, but why not wait for just a slightly better price point instead of FOMOing in now and feeling like a chump when the price pulls back as soon as you do it? It happens to me a lot, trust me. I say that from experience. 4-hour time frame, everything's pretty well bullish here. Stochastic's trying to swing up, but hasn't yet. MACD is diverging, so we do have a potential momentum shift. So that could be that early sign letting us know that a short, excuse me, a short-term reversal is likely. Okay, so there's that. So me, again, when I see these little things like this happen, taking a long right now doesn't seem like the best idea, just based on me believing Bitcoin should retrace by a small margin before the next leg up. I'm really looking forward to a long position in the 90 to 88.5K range. You've been watching my videos, you'll know this for a while. And the simple way to understand it is most altcoins will respond to Bitcoin pulling back. So the ones that don't are the ones you maybe want to consider trading, but this coin is moving consistent with Bitcoin, albeit slightly better. Hourly time frame here kind of reflects that while we are above the cloud, and this is all good, all well and good, the lagging span's still not free and clear. We got kind of a compression, if you will. So there is decent chance that we see a slight retracement before the next leg up. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. Overall, a pretty positive situation nonetheless. I think the likelihood of further upside makes tremendous more sense, but me personally, I'm going to be interested more so in a $20 to $21 entry than I will at $22.25 right now. That's just my thoughts though. What are your thoughts? Why don't you comment below? Let me know where you're at in AVAX. Do you trade this coin frequently, or is this more like a spot bag holder for you? I keep this in spot and I trade it fairly frequent with my community. So I'm looking for a trade in the $20 to $21 range. What are your thoughts? All right. Have a good rest of your day, folks. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon.